Welcome to the deep dive. So you've brought us this really, truly fascinating set of sources today on modern South Africa. And they paint this picture that is just, well, it's a complete contradiction in terms.
It really is a paradox.
Yeah, one of the sources puts it so vividly. It says the country is, quote, talking like a digital nation, but living like an industrial museum. And our mission today is really to unpack that, to get into that tension between this ambitious AI push on one hand, and on the other, the reality of just, crumbling basic infrastructure. It's a wild contrast.
And the stakes are incredibly high. The analysis in the sources is clear that the country's whole future, its economic stability, it all hinges on navigating this. It's a balancing act between the future they want and the present they have.
Okay, so let's start with that vision. The digital nation part.
Yeah.
South Africa clearly has a genuine appetite for this. We saw the creation of the National AI Policy Framework in 2024.
Right, and that wasn't just for show. It was drafted specifically to transform the economy and, position the country as a leader in the region.
And it's not just theory, is it? It's happening.
No, it's already translating into real projects. The notes show the financial sector is way ahead of the curve. The big banks are all adopting AI, and even public sector agencies are running pilots, and they're reporting, some early wins on efficiency. The ambition is there.
But then we get to the other side of the coin, the industrial museum. This digital skyscraper is being built on, well, foundations that are actually collapsing.
That's the existential threat right there. They're trying to build a 21st century economy on a 19th century base. It's just not stable. And when you look at the actual infrastructure, you see basically three crises all happening at once.
Okay, so what's the first one?
The most obvious one is electricity. The load shedding. It's caused by decades of just not maintaining these old coal stations, and it's devastating. It shaves a huge amount off the GDP and just absolutely crushes small and medium-sized businesses.
The ones that can't afford massive generator.
Exactly. And while everyone's talking about the power cuts, the sources point to another failure that's just as bad: water.
Right, the water crisis.
They call it the quiet catastrophe. We're looking at widespread water scarcity predicted for 2025 to 2030. All because of poor maintenance, old pipes. For so many people, water cuts are now just a normal part of life.
Unbelievable. And what's the third crisis?
Logistics. So even if a business manages to keep the lights on and has water, they can't move their products.
Because the rail imports are...
They're crippled.
Yeah.
Just crippled by theft, by vandalism. It costs billions and forces everything onto roads that are already congested and, frankly, not that safe. It's a failure of basic institutional control.
So that brings us to the key question, doesn't it? How can you possibly use AI to transform, say, education or healthcare, when the fundamental services you need to even run the servers are constantly failing?
Well, that's the so what of it all. You can't. AI isn't just an app on your phone. It needs huge, power-hungry data centers. And those data centers need continuous power. Stable cooling. Load shedding isn't an inconvenience for them. It's a fatal flaw.
It shuts the whole thing down.
Instantly. So the infrastructure collapse isn't a separate problem. It's a direct threat to the entire digital vision. It's really a governance issue at its core.
It sounds like there's an obvious order of operations here, right?
Yeah.
Fix the basics first, you fix the grid, then you go digital.
You would think so, but what's so fascinating is that the sources argue they don't have time for that. They can't afford to act sequentially. If they wait 10 years to fix the pipes, they fall so far behind the rest of the world on AI that they can never, ever catch up.
Wow. So they have to do everything at once.
Simultaneously. They have to fix the grid and secure the water while they are building this AI-ready society. It's an immense challenge.
So South Africa's journey here isn't just about adopting new tech. It demands this brutally honest confrontation with its most basic problems. And it leaves you with a really provocative thought to mull over. If a society can't make reliable electricity, clean water, and working trains just boring, unremarkable parts of daily life, you have to ask, has it even really finished the first industrial revolution, let alone started the fourth? We'll leave you with that. Thanks for diving deep with us.